There is a very popular person on YouTube, Miss Bowman, who has said some rather disparaging marks about your father by calling him, by saying that he was not a doctor. And thank God for like people like Lord Jamar, who came back at him to give him some education. Now, so color disparity, it's our people on the other side of the spectrum, the non-Black, non-brown. I would like for you to talk to them too, because you also went through medical training. And this is my personal belief, Miss Bowman. I believe that you don't have to go through Western man's educational system to be quote unquote a doctor. My grandmother told me a long time ago, you are your first doctor to yourself. You know and understand, like Rufus is saying, when there's something wrong with your body, where you're not looking for medicine, because a lot of us Black men in America, we don't like taking pills. I'm going to throw myself in that. We don't go to the doctor as much as we should. But more specifically for your father, you can be a doctor. This is just my spiritual wisdom understanding. I don't have to, quote unquote, have a degree from a university or go through an educational system to understand that I have a connection to herbs and ancient wisdom that cannot be quantified on the planet. And even in every holy textbook that there is, there's still a level of language that we are connected to our God or our creator without a man-made system. And yes, we should let people know I did not go through a traditional standard, but I understand medicine and herbs when it comes to me, and I'm able to help heal you or help work through. Now, it does not mean that you don't go see a traditional doctor, but however, there's some things I can provide to you that can enhance your life, if you don't mind talking about that. I know it's a long question, so basically the question is, you don't have to be westernized through their education system and their system period to call yourself or refer to yourself as being a doctor.
Well, he didn't make that term up. He didn't call himself Dr. Sebi. It was actually a name that he was given by someone because he had healed a man in Africa. And that name was given to him because of what you're talking about now. He had a third grade education, my father. But I just want to say this about what we know about ourselves individually. If he had not done the work on himself, we would not be talking about him today. And if he had a third grade education and he was able to ascertain all of this information, everything that we're talking about right now, it doesn't, let me tell you something. I went to school to be a nurse. He laughed at me. I laughed at him too. But the thing was, he still knew more than me. I have met quite a few doctors who are now clients because a doctor is not a nutritionist. So he cannot tell you what foods to eat. He can give you that pill. His service is to tell you something, to give you his summation of what he thinks he can do for you. But that is the level in which he operates. But he cannot give you anything but that food pyramid. So it's funny how a doctor does not go hand in hand with your food. So why is that? Well, here's my thought also. Here's a little side story. So I remember looking at this story in the news, and this woman, she drove from she worked for NASA. Now, she had quite a few degrees. She drove from NASA all the way to Florida from I guess she was working in California or Texas, but she worked for NASA, and she drove all the way to Florida. Now, this woman is highly educated with some rope in her trunk and some other items because, and she was wearing a diaper because she was headed to, I think she was going to maybe accost the woman who was sleeping with her boyfriend or her husband, something like that. Now, this is a college educated woman, a doctor in her field. So you're telling me that only smart people make smart decisions and they know it all. Why is this woman driving across the country, trying to get this other woman? So common sense is not very common, is what I'm going to say. And I found that story interesting only because what took this woman out of her intelligent status to go there? So it has nothing. I say that long story, and it's kind of a silly story, but to say that not everyone knows everything, but God. Jah is everything. This earth was here prior to all of us, and this grass still grows green. So for me, even the cracks in the ground, you can put cement down, the grass is going to grow between the cracks. So I say nature, I will continue to be nature's hero. I will continue to speak up for nature's way because it's necessary. So I would like us to think about partnering with each other instead of trying to find the big divide. The big divide doesn't answer these mysterious questions, which are actually mysterious. They're just truths that you want to cover up.
That's right.
So I like the truth. I like to stay in the truth, and that's what I represent. That's what I have, and that's what I like. And I think I want to keep liking it as long as I live for our communities everywhere.
Awesome.